Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Max, and today's video for Dead by Daylight. Relatively quick conversation. I won't stretch this one out too long because it's more just kind of an open-ended question, and I'll give you a little bit of my personal take on it, see what you guys think. And it's the whole idea of meta perks versus fun perks to use, and just kind of how the community feels about the different perks and kind of what's going on, what people do, and how other people in the community respond to that. This partially came up because, well, one, I was listening to a video from Scott Jund, and he was talking about how, like, Dead Hard was such a popular perk because it was fun to use, and inherently it was also pretty strong, so it was meta and fun. But now that it's gotten nerfed, even though the utility of Dead Hard is, you get one less use out of it, for sure, at least one use out of it, less use out of it, probably more, since, you don't just get it back all the time. But functionally, the perk does the exact same thing. So in terms of that gameplay interaction, the perk is still just as fun to use, but now since you get to use it less often, it's like, maybe not. But, it's like, now that people don't run Dead Hard because it got nerfed to the extent that it did, exhaustion perk choice for a lot of people has just become like life. I've seen a lot more. I see a couple overcome. I think that's the Jonah perk where you just run twice as long if you get hit. And it made me think, like, okay, so those perks, in my opinion, life and overcome, it's a very clear, I hit the vault or I get hit and then I just run hold W even more. And those perks I don't personally find very fun to use. But they're still run. So I guess some people, myself included, will run a meta perk or two. But then there's, in my opinion at least, I'm going to be referencing more the Survivor side because I know Survivor more. I play Survivor more. And I feel like there's more quote unquote fun perks that the survivors get, at least that feel like they change the interactions that you do in the game. What I mean by that, as Survivor, even if it's not meta, I could do like a full altruism build with like a really strong med kit, and then I could go like, we'll make it desperate measures, botany knowledge, and built to last to recharge my med kit, right? And now I have this like super healing speed build, but I don't really got anything for me in chase or doing gens or anything. Another noteworthy perk that I think Scott talked about was something like hyperfocus, right? I personally think, and I think a lot of people agree, hyperfocus is a pretty strong perk. And for a lot of people, that, in my opinion, hyperfocus would be pretty meta defining. It's not super easy to hit all the skill checks, so you're probably going to lose stacks here and there. But if you are good enough to be hitting great skill checks all the time, you probably save a good chunk of time on a generator. And that can happen multiple times a game. But it's not in meta in the sense that I don't see hyperfocus almost in any of my games on, playing as Survivor or Killer. It could be because it's a licensed chapter, so, maybe the accessibility to a chapter being licensed content where you have to pay for it makes it less accessible for people. That very much could be an option. But I would say also that it seems as though, like, it's just not a quote-unquote fun perk to use. The value and fun that you're getting in the perk is literally just to do gens faster. And it's Prove Thyself is still pretty common. A lot of people choose to run that. And that also, shaves a couple seconds off of a generator, but hyperfocus does too, but I don't see it. And it makes me think, like, okay, there are some perks that are meta and not fun that fill similar roles, yet one is chosen more than the other. Or when you look at something like exhaustion perk of choice, kind of like I was mentioning with Dead Hard, Head On is really fun to use. And I've seen a couple people running it, but the majority of people choose to run something like Life, and I don't see many sprint bursts. It's a lot of Life and occasionally Overcome from Jonah. But I think a lot more people who play the game have access to Feng. She's got great cosmetics and she's been in the game a lot longer. So I'd imagine people play Life. People play with Life because more people have access to Feng than not. So it's like there's a meta perk that, I mean, it's fun to use because chase perks are, in my opinion, are always enjoyable. I like the chase aspect of the game. But, a friend of mine, when I've been kind of teaching him the ropes of how to play the game, he's been really excited and adamant on item collecting. So he, just got the game, and the first survivor he wants to pick up is Ace. for is it Ace in the Hole that gives the extra add-ons, and like Plunderer's Instinct, and he just wants to do like a full item hoarding chest build, which I'm like, that's cool. Like, if you want to do that, go have fun. If you have fun playing the game a certain way, by all means go for it. My friend and I run it down with Power Struggle, Flip Flop, Tenacity, Unbreakable all the time. Just a full Power Struggle build. We don't really care. We're gonna go down under a pallet, but it's gonna be funny, right? Like, in that case, we're playing for fun more than meta, and it's more just like, do people have not really a problem with it, but more just like, where does the community stand on... By the way, I did this so that I would bait the clown into thinking that I was actually healing to get the off the record swing. I wasn't just teabagging my teammate, I promise. But I thought it was just kind of a conversation point. Like, okay, where do people draw the line between I want to run a meta build and win versus I want to have fun? And I don't think there really is a definite line at the end of the day. As long as you're having fun playing the game, that's what matters. In my opinion, that's what matters. Which is why, even though, you know, like on the killer side, tunneling / camping isn't really a whole fun thing to do, or at least get on the play experience of it, if the killer player wants to win and they feel they need to tunnel to do so, go for it. The topic of balance is a whole other issue, but play the game how you want to have fun. I hope nobody disagrees with me saying played a video game to not have fun. You can, of course, incorporate the other players' experiences in it, but that's a whole other conversation I've gotten to in other videos. The point being, there's just been cool perks that I feel like are underutilized, or builds that people run that are not meta because maybe they want to complete a tome, or in my case, you know, like right now I'm doing the adept in the background video. I recently, over the weekend, did I think it's Power Moves achievement. It's 0 perks, at least do 1 full generator, and escape 8 times. I counted and recorded all my games. It took me 11 games to do that. I was actually really surprised that I escaped most of those games than not, but I was playing with no perks and literally just gen rushing and booking it. That was my personal goal in those games. It, to me, was kind of boring. It was cool that I had no perks, because that was like a different challenge compared to me, you know, normally running life, normally running something like Prove Thyself. And I usually bring like a meta build of 2 or 3 perks, and then the other 1 or 2 perks are related to a Steam achievement, where you saw in the last couple of videos I've done, it was Deliverance and Slippery Meat for self unhooks. More recently, I was using like Clairvoyance and Counterforce to pop totems, because I needed to do that for a tome. And it's like, do people play to get challenges done? Do people play because they have a certain build in mind they like? Do people just play meta? I like, to me, I feel like I mix it up a lot, and it seems as though different people have had different experiences in the game, and maybe this is, you know, partially due to the fact that I do sometimes just run it down and give kills. So maybe my MMR isn't as high as it needs to be for matchmaking, so I don't run into meta all the time. And at least for me, I enjoy that a lot more. I like the variety that people bring in and have fun with their crazy, unique build ideas. The reason why I talk about survivor side and not killer side, like I said, it's just, I don't know what killer perks I bring that change up the playstyle for me to have more or less fun. Honestly, the only thing that really makes something super fun is like an add-on that fundamentally changes a killer. Over the weekend, I also did the Evil Incarnate Myers achievement, where you have to Mori all 4 people with Tombstone. It took me 2 games to do that. That was cool. But like, that, other than those game-changing add-on combos, really, I think the only thing that like changes up the way that I play the game a lot is like hexes. The combination of hex perks is really cool. And otherwise, I feel like I'm doing like a meta gen slowdown / anti-heal, but my gameplay loop doesn't change a whole lot as killer, at least for me. But for Survivor, I'll do a lot more dumb stuff more frequently. Like, I know my friend was doing a Teamwork Power of 2 Blood Pact and like Hope Boon Shadow Step 117% movement speed build. That's cool. Like, I really liked that idea. But also, that bottle was insane. I don't know if you guys saw that from the clown. He wove it through the window. But either way, I can kind of wrap up the video. There's just like a lot of cool perk ideas, a lot of cool stuff that I think people do, more notably on Survivor than Killer, that are fun and not necessarily meta. Or there are, in my opinion, kind of sleeper, underutilized perks like hyper focus, or I don't even see deliverance that often, but I think deliverance is very, very strong. Perks that I would say are more meta, but people don't run. And I don't think it's because they're not super fun, but like, I guess it's just, you know, it's not to the level of dead hard interaction with a killer or head-on interaction with a killer. And I wanted to get you guys' opinion on that. Do you think that like that perk choice in some regard is related to the fact that people just don't have fun with meta perks? Do people, because it's like, sometimes I feel like that's the argument, but then other times people are like, I play to win, you know? And if you do that, by all means, go for it. That's why I said, like, if you play killer and you want to tunnel, do it. Play how you want to have fun. But if meta comes at the expense of fun, do people sometimes opt into the fun route over the meta route? For me, I always go for Steam achievements and like tome challenges, so I don't really care that I'm running bad perks, or in the case of the, you know, power moves achievement, no perks for the entire weekend. Like, I had fun doing that, but a lot of people find it like frustrating or a very difficult, painful achievement to get through. That's really the big question. I'll kind of wrap up the video here. One of the Steam achievements that I have to do is do I think it's open the exit gate 20 times on RPD. Dude, whoever came up with that achievement at Behavior, like, I'm looking at you know, why'd you do that? No one wants to do that. No one wants to go to RPD. I am literally going to be sending myself to RPD 40 games in a row trying to get out. I am going to hate this game, but I want to do the achievement. So just let me know what you guys think. Do you think meta perks are cool to run? Would you prefer meta over fun perks? Do you sometimes just run fun perks? Why do you run fun perks? Is it to get tomes done, Steam achievements done, just because you like running that build? I feel like it's, as long as you're having fun playing the game, that's what matters most, right? If you have fun by winning, then you run meta. If you have fun by doing goofy stuns and flashlight saves, that probably indicates the builds that you pick. So just an idea. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys got any more video ideas, suggestions, some other things to talk about, let me know. I've kind of been skimming through the community's video ideas and topics just to kind of give my own 2 cents on the issues or discussions at hand. So I'll see what catches my eye. This one was just one that kind of happened discussing with my friends over the weekend. And I'll catch you all on Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Peace.